Hola chicos, espero que estén bien. Vamos a practicar pronunciar dos letras esta semana, la T y la V. Okay, now we've actually seen how to pronounce V because B and V are pronounced exactly the same. So we did that at the very beginning of the year, working on pronouncing the B. But we're going to just review it and just to remember that V is pronounced just like B in Spanish. All right, now T. You probably hear, if we were in class, I would have you put your hand in front of your face and say the word T, like in English. Just say T, put your hand in front of your face, say it, T, and you should feel a puff of air on your hand. Because in English, that T is aspirated. There's a little puff of air that's produced after you, when you make the T sound in English. In Spanish, that puff of air doesn't exist. You'll still feel air on your hand because you're exhaling while you're pronouncing the word. But that puff of air doesn't happen. The other thing is, okay, say T again and pay attention to where your tongue is hitting in your mouth. T, T, okay? In English, it hits right here. It's called the alveolar ridge. That's where the tongue hits to make the T and the D sound. And we talked about this when we learned how to pronounce the D. But in Spanish, to make the T and the D sound, the tongue actually hits the back of the teeth right here. B, B, okay? So the word for tea in English, T-E-A, right? The beverage. Tea in Spanish, it's té. And hopefully you can hear there's no puff of air in Spanish. And it's further, it's more, it's closer to like a th sound in Spanish than it is in English because your tongue is almost between your teeth when you make the T sound in Spanish. All right, so practiquemos. El tiburón. El tiburón. El tigre. El tigre. El toro. El toro. La tortuga. La tortuga. Y la letra V. And like I said, remember that the V and the B are pronounced exactly the same in Spanish. And if you think, well, hold up, I'm hearing a difference sometimes between, if it's a B sound or a V sound. Close, but not quite. There is not a V sound in Spanish, but there are two different sounds. It doesn't depend on what letter it is. It depends on where it's at in the sentence. So at the very beginning of a sentence, if the B is the first sound, it makes the hard B that we're used to in English. But if it's anywhere else in the sentence, except for, and also if it's after M and N, then it'll make that B sound. If it's anywhere else, if it's after any other letter, it makes a soft B sound. And if you remember back to the beginning of the year when we talked about the soft B sound, your lips almost close, but not quite. So you're gonna like you're going to make a B sound, but your lips don't quite close. And it does sound a little bit similar to a V sound. All right, so is basically what it is. El venado. El venado. La vaca. La vaca. La vicuña. La vicuña. All right, and here are your words. Go ahead and just read these and make a recording of yourself saying these and submit it to Google Classroom. And we have, let's see, W, X, Y, Z, 4 letters left. All right, so we'll do 2, not next week. Next week's food day. Still doing food day, even if I'm the only one. We'll do W, X in 2 weeks and then Y and Z in 3 weeks. All right, hasta luego, chicos. Buen fin de semana. Cuídense.